and welcome all of you to the noonday, around about noon, show with Monte and Teresita. Here we are, guys. Hey, we're just hanging out with you today. We're just so happy to be here today. We'd like to welcome you all to our little chat. Very big chat. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and we are just so excited that we lived another week right here in the island of Aruba. And for those of you who don't know, I'm Monte, and this is my beautiful wife, Teresita Cagle, and we are author, composers, artists, entertainers, missionaries, mother and father of 10 kids. And we're here to discuss some real interesting things with you today, and we're just so happy to be alive right here today in Aruba. And first of all, I just want to say, I want to thank you, every single one of you, for your support, your likes, your comments, and subscribing to our channel, our YouTube and our Facebook channel. And we just want to thank you so much. We really do. We really appreciate it. Every ounce of support, whether that's a word of encouragement or if you give us a little tip here and there, we always appreciate it down here in the island of Aruba. And also, thank you so much for your encouragement. And it really encouraged, here we are, old timers like us, messing with these new things in technology, but we're here in the lockdown, and we just want to have some fun. We just want to visit with all our friends and all our loved ones, and we realize that this is such a good way to do it right here, and we want to thank you so much. And also, we'd like to remind you to please, if you'd like to get some of our materials and things that we have to offer, don't forget to stop by our website, montecagle.com, for all the latest goodies and all those wonderful things right there at montecagle.com. Yes, sir. You can see a lot of our artifacts and things that Melody's making, and you can get the goodies such as face masks and bracelets and all the things that we just started with Cagle Aruba, and it's going off the ground, and we're very excited, and people are already coming over and picking up things and checking out our art and all the goodies we have to offer. One of the main things, as we talk about things, Teresita has just taken off in her cooking. I mean, it's just awesome. And we have a bakery started. I never thought I'd be a baker, but here we are. Hey, Teresita, how you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you.
All right.
I'm really happy to be here today with all of you viewers, and everything's going good here. We just the bad news is, I'll give you the bad news first and the good news. The bad news is that there are around more than 1,000 cases of the virus.
Oh man!
The hospitals are just filling up quickly. There's only one hospital, it's filling up. But God's been good to us, and we're still healthy. And this morning, somebody came to buy bread. Well, because we have a bakery, we open up in the morning and people buy bread from the window.
Yeah, it's like everything's
it's
outsourced,
fence, and it's like from the side of the house. But I say, why don't you wear a mask? The guy didn't have a mask on. He says, I never wear a mask. I said,
God.
But aren't you scared that you're going to get the virus? He says, nah, I never wear a mask. I really don't care about it. Well, in like 2 weeks' time, the cases from affected people has gone up from 5 cases to 1,000 in 2 weeks' time. Was it 2 weeks or 3? How many? 2 weeks.
In about 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks' time, it's been going up by 100 a day.
Oh my God.
People. The thing is also that the reason why it's coming to the to the front a lot more is because the employers are demanding that the employees take the test before they come to work.
Oh God!
And so they have to
that.
come back. They have to come to work with a paper saying that they don't have it. Turns out that most people do. So the shops
Oh my God!
they have to close anyway because everybody has it. And before you know it, the whole island has it. And they don't. They didn't close the borders. You know, like some countries, they actually closed the borders. But here in Aruba, they did not close the borders. I don't understand why. But so when the tourists come here, they might go home with a gift of Corona.
So they brought it even.
Well, they might go back to America with the Corona. If they never had it, they will get it. And if they have it, they give it to us. And if they don't have it, they get it from us.
Oh God!
So either or, it's just here, and it's just going off the grid. It's like crazy. It's spreading like wildfire. But there's only one dead person so far from these 2 weeks.
Well, that's the thing about it. Even though there's people with cases, they're not unlike the States and some other countries. They're not just dying all over the place.
Right.
It's like who knows? Maybe the good weather and all the sun, vitamin E and the sea. People are allowed to still go to the beach here. Are able to fight it off a lot better and weather that storm a lot better.
And the president said, if you have it, if you have the virus, don't worry about going to the hospital yet.
Okay.
Until it's really, really if you have really bad symptoms,
Wow.
you get a headache, so you can't breathe and stuff like that. But she says just go home, quarantine yourself, and you'll just sleep it out. Basically, you just stay home for 2 weeks and you get better and you feel better, eat good, rest a lot, and then you
get over it, right?
You get over it. That's what
Well,
she said.
it's funny, how different leaders approach the problem in so many different ways. This person seems to be common sense, realistic approach to the disease and natural ways. Instead of all the piling on, like back home in the States, everybody's like, you got to pile on all the 1,000 tons of medicines and stuff like that, which in a lot of cases just makes it a lot worse.
And also, they caught 2 American guys in Colombia who were actually selling a product all over the world almost, saying that this would cure the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just some kind of chlorine, whatever, something.
Chlorine? Was it not? It wasn't hydroxychloroquine, was it?
No. It's something else they were selling, actually, and telling people that this thing would cure it. A lot of people died from it when they took it. But they were selling it. It was like a really... it was almost like a Clorox, something like that, mixed with a little bit of stuff.
It wasn't Fauci, was it?
Little thing like that. No, it wasn't. But anyway... So people are, if anyone tells you that they got a cure for it and that you should buy it from them, that they have some concoction or something like that, don't buy it. Just go out in the sun, take a lot of vitamin C, take zinc, things like that, but don't buy it off some person who says they got the cure, because they'll sell you anything.
Yeah, people are really...
they'll sell you some
artists.
kind of thing they just put together, and then they'll tell you it's going to cure you, and people are desperate because they don't want to get the virus.
But wouldn't you say that these guys, let's say the CDC leaders and the WHO and all these people saying all these different conflicting ideas about the remedies for this virus, wouldn't you say that they're almost on the same level?
I guess
without the sophistication or the money or the governments or the powers that be behind them.
But look, what is the point of making a vaccine if this thing keeps mutating into different strains and different things?
That's a subject in itself. I mean, there's so many ideas about the actual virus, how it actually works, how it is mutating, and the virus that they're taunting. I mean, Russia this week, I think it was Wednesday, they tweeted that they have a vaccine and they're going to start delivering it to the public very soon.
But
and how do you know?
I mean, don't trust them. They say the president of the Philippines say they have to test it first. They don't really trust it that well because it could be anything for profit or for business, you know. There's got to be. They have to have some guinea pigs.
But like a world power, though, would you think they would have the guts to do that, to offer something like that to the general public?
How did they try it? Who did they try it on animals?
It seems that Putin's daughter, even his own daughter, they tested it on his daughter. Yeah. I don't know if she made it, or I guess she's not dead. You don't hear anything about it.
She's not dead. I guess you could just sell water in a bottle. If it doesn't kill you, then it's good.
I know. I just keep laughing. I'm laughing because it's not a hilarious or funny or a frivolous situation right now. It's pretty serious, but they just say all these things to people. They just say all these things to the public, and you don't know whether it's the truth or not. You know, there's so many liars. I can't believe how these world leaders, medical leaders, or political leaders just lie to the public so easily and is so frivolous about what they say. You know, like how they'll just say anything.
Right.
You know, and so you wonder what's the truth.
Exactly. You just have to, you know what, the only thing that really works? Prayer.
Okay. You mean praying for the disease itself, or prayer for
just praying for yourself. Pray that you won't get it, or if you do have it, that you get cured from it. That's the only thing you can do, because the thing is that there are actually no medicines that would completely 100% take it away. It's a pandemic, they say. But basically, you have to if it's your time to go, you just go. Yeah, but if it's not your time to go, you won't go.
Yeah, that's
so. If you can't breathe, and if you have symptoms and you have a problem, just relax and don't panic. I think panicking makes it worse.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's so true. You know, when you get upset and you panic, your whole body can't function properly. It's not going to function smoothly, and all your immune system is going to drop drastically or dramatically, and you're just going to get sick, and it's just going to take a big toll on you. It's hard, especially. I just like to keep saying, you know, it's like if you don't know God, if you don't have a faith, if you're functioning on a Darwinian evolutionist mentality, of course you're going to freak out because you don't know, you don't see any rhyme or reason to life, so you're just panicking in a lot of cases.
And you don't really know, and if you don't know that, you know, where you're going to go when you die, of course it's freaky because it's like so mysterious. But if you know, if you have Jesus in your life,
right,
and you know that when you die you're going to be in God's kingdom with Him, you know, then things don't seem so bad, you know, after all. And also, basically, you just need to have, in this time, all you can have is faith. All you can have is just trust God and don't freak or panic, because when you panic, your whole body tenses up, which makes, you know, the natural, your body can't function normally, and your body kind of tenses up, and you just become nervous wreck. You'll have stress, you'll be freaked out, and fear causes failure.
Yeah.
You know, if you're fearful, then you definitely, it's like feared a fear and it came upon them.
Ooh, voila.
But if you just, you know what, just relax and take it easy. If you are diagnosed with this, just stay home. Don't go out, because don't, you know, give it to someone else. But a lot of people are getting cured from it naturally. They don't really have to take anything. They either get be in the sun, or they could just be at home and resting. Resting helps a lot, but panicking causes problems with breath and everything else. You just need to relax.
It's funny, you know, like that's true, because I feel like I'm cough. Okay, hope you're not good. When you start talking about it, just things just come out. You know, when I was a kid, I was asthmatic, and I had a real terrible time with asthma. And my mom kept me in every doctor's, and well, the 2 or 3 doctors we had in our town office every week after week. You know, I was like, oh, you know, run to the doctor. Boom, got a shot. This Dr. Gordon guy used to drive me crazy. He always wants to give you penicillin. You go there, and boom. Give you, penicillin. You cut my finger. Oh, okay, give him penicillin. Boom. And in those days, they used to, you know, slide your pants down on the side and boom, right in your butt, you know. And it's like, Mom, I don't want to go to the doctor. But hit me one day. I thought I was gonna die I had an asthmatic attack, and this actually happened. I thought I was gonna die. I really did. I was home from school, because it was so bad, and you know, my parents went to work and everything, and I was older. I was like, you know, 10, you know, 9 or 10, and I was so freaked out. And my grandma was always downstairs, you know, or in the house somewhere. But at that particular time, I was like, and I couldn't breathe. I never forgot this, and I just was like about to take my last breath, and as I was falling back, I just said, Jesus, the name of Jesus. You know, I mean, I was a kid, so I didn't know anything about, you know, the things that I've learned now. But I just said the name of Jesus. I never forgot. I just went, Jesus. And I fell back. And I went to sleep. And when I woke up from that day forth, I'm not kidding, I never had any attacks like that, ever. And, you know, a few, you know, shortness of breath, tightness of chest here and there, but never again like that. And it just blew my mind. To this day, when I think about it, you know, like crying out for the name of Jesus for his healing. Like Jesus said, you know, I will heal thee of thy infirmities. It's like, it's just so true. And the spirit world's real, and Jesus is really real. And crying out and calling on his name brings results time and time again. You know, it may not bring the total result of what you want, but that immediate attack of the devil or attack of a sickness, I mean, it's working. They've proven it scientifically that people crying out are in prayer, and prayer works. You know, that it really works.
It's amazing.
You know, it's like
so yeah, basically that's all you can do in this time. Just really learn how to really pray and ask God to just help you, and he will.
Yeah, but what do you? I mean, like what? Like when you say pray, like what is there a special prayer you pray, or just like let's say the average person, like you just listen to it, not prone to prayer. Praying in what way? What is prayer, by the way?
It's just talking to God.
Okay.
You just tell him how you feel, and you just talk to him. The first thing to prayer, of course, is having a real personal contact with God, and that you get through asking Jesus in your heart.
Your life, okay.
You know, you ask Jesus in your life. You accept him as your Lord and Savior, and that is like your ticket to God. You're basically, it's like the door. Just I'm the way, the truth, and the life. You know, no man cometh unto the Father but by me.
Okay.
That's one of the verse in the Bible, and so when you have a personal contact like that with God, you know, through Jesus, basically you say, heal me, just help me, heal me. And even by reading his word, it happened to some people where they would be reading the word and the word would heal them. There's a verse also in the Bible somewhere, I'm not exactly sure what it says, but it says he sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. He sent His word and healed them. So the Bible for us is like the word that God sent for us. And sometimes when you're really sick, you don't feel like reading or anything, you don't feel like it. But sometimes when I'm sick, I have to force myself to just grab the Bible, or even on the internet, just start reading anything. Just like start reading the Psalms or the Gospels. Just start, and as you are reading it, it just starts healing you and pulling you out of the pit that you are in. It's really, really, really important that you don't just lay in bed and just moan and groan and, oh man, I'm so sick and I don't know what to do.
Oh, you heard it.
I'm just gonna die. It's in Psalm 107, verse 20. It says, He sent His word and healed them, and delivered them from their destructions. Psalms 107:20. It's this very, very good verse. It really helps me a lot, because when you're sick, you don't feel like reading the Word of God.
That's true.
But you should force yourself and say, you know what, this Word will heal me. And so you grab for your Bible, if you have one, or even on your phone, they have apps, Bible apps, and you just start opening up to the Psalms, and you start reading, and as you are reading, you just get healed.
I've seen it happen time and time again. It's happened to me, and it's happened in our family with the kids.
Right.
Like sometimes you just, the kids are sick, you feel so freaked out. You don't want to run to the doctor. Okay, we were never, who's got the money to run to the doctor every 5 minutes, and especially nowadays, especially in America. But anyway, in a lot of places, and a lot of cases, we just pray over the kids and read the word with them. Sometimes it was really super serious and something really that a doctor really could do.
Right.
We break down and went to a doctor for certain things, but just every 5 minutes, it just doesn't cut it. And the doc, all he does is just he looks at you, and prescribe you a medicine or something to take.
Exactly.
Whereas plain old grandma chicken soup and prayer and really just watching over the kids and praying over them, that has healing power.
Exactly.
Like I was watching. It's funny. It's one of the things I wanted to talk about today was we were watching the sci-fi. Saturday's our day to just kind of forget it all sometimes, and we just stop and we'll just watch a movie or two at night and evening and stuff. And we were kind of celebrating. What's the day? The 16th. Yeah, yesterday we were kind of celebrating one of our daughters' birthday. We were celebrating it, and we're not, even though we weren't with her, we just call her up or send a message, and we'll have ice cream.
Kids' birthdays.
We celebrate them, all of them. We celebrate their birthday, even though we're not with them. And so anyway, we're celebrating, and we watched these movies last night, and sure enough, in this sci-fi movie, this girl heals her father laying on hands, but they'll say, through prayer and stuff. But she basically, here she's in a praying position. She lays hands on her father, and she just sends her energy, and boom, the guy gets healed. She almost like raises him from the dead, Right. And they explain everything away scientifically. Right. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with science, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to study matter, to study earth materials, and see how things work physically in the physical realm.
Right.
But prayer is like Teresita was saying, it's a real power that's released through you, or you seek God about it, and He releases His power. So that's always encouraging, and so prayer works.
And it really works, So just try to do that. Also over your children, pray, because sometimes going to the hospital, it is worse, because they make it worse. They put you on these ventilators, And sometimes you really don't need to be on those things, and they say that it's not really helping.
Oh God.
You know. So basically, if your children have it, or you find yourself, with someone in your home or who is sick or something like that, don't rush to the hospital right away. The best thing is then just your house doctor is even better than going to the hospital, because the hospital is just like a conveyor belt of just sick people, you know.
These things, I mean, we're not doctors, but I can tell you from our experiences, doctors, we've had a lot of run-in with doctors and hospitals, because every time she goes to her a delivery in a general hospital where we had our babies, children, first thing, bam, you don't need to have this many kids. You want to cut the tube? Hey, you want us to cut your tubes? All kind of crazy. You like, what? Oh, why would you? And immediately they just bang, 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 bang. That's why we're so kind of down on family planning and all this stuff like that. They immediately want to cut your tubes. Hey, you want to cut your? Hey, you know what? I remember they told her one time, oh, you don't have to tell your husband, but we can perform a operation and blah 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 for you, so you don't have any more kids. And she's like, I get there, she'll tell them. You tell me what they say, and I'm like, you just want to go wring their little necks, like they're always coming to do that, and they're trying to promote that actually depopulation plan ideals and family planning ideals, and that are just demonic. I will just clearly say that. It's like, for what? You got to really watch these hospitals, man. Especially now they're with the COVID-19 thing. They get money for every COVID patient, Social Security, and they're definitely on old people's cases. They're really behind them like the plague of COVID-19. And they want to take them out. They want to take these old people out, and if nothing else, they want the money, and they don't really care about their lives. Right. So be careful with your parents or yourself. If you're oldie goldie, watch out for it.
Just don't go out a lot. Don't try not to go in places where there are a lot of people.
Well, you can get infected, right?
Yeah, and just stay near. What they are telling people to do mostly is don't go away far from your neighborhood or something. Just go to your neighborhood's little supermarket. Buy little things for.
But you can get it if you're a neighborhood supermarket. It has to be a place where it's a hot spot. You can get it there.
Right, you're right.
So what should you do?
But anyway, the thing is that they want you to have one of the face masks on.
Okay.
I went to the store the other day and I forgot my face mask.
Oh God.
And I said, oh no, I gotta run back to go get my face mask at home. And the guy says, don't worry about it, just come in.
Well, look, there you are. You gave some. Imagine if he
does it with
was affected
everyone.
And he tells everybody that, don't worry about it. So then what happens? You get it.
And so today when I was in the store, because there's one right around the corner from our house where you just buy little things like that, somebody else walked in. I was there with my face mask, looking at the door to see who came. Every other person that comes into the store does not have a face mask. But
here in Aruba, it's like
don't tell them to go get it or something. They just say, don't worry about it. It's like a joke. Face masks now it is mandatory in shops and everything like that, but a lot of people are not taking it seriously. But you know what?
Well, especially here in South America,
you can't breathe with that thing.
You can't breathe with that thing.
We went to town and we were in the store the whole time. I had a problem breathing.
We walked to town.
I can't breathe with that thing.
It's about a mile. We walked to town. It's good exercise too, folks. You got to get out. You got to get out, okay? And we just walk. We just try to walk everywhere. And half the people here, okay, this is the Caribbean and South America combined. We're right at the top of South America. The people don't care about all this stuff, and a lot of them are making it through. They are they're not dying, and I guess being in the sun is killing that thing. And I won't say that, okay, but I'm just saying it's something that I've noticed since I've been here, that people are not dying. They might be getting more cases, but they're not. We had one kid when we first got here. One kid died. I think we said that in one of our videos.
Right.
And he was just right in front. He's right in front of our house, our front next door neighbor, not next door, but in front of us.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was that no one in his family
Got it.
So how could he die from it? His mother, mother and sisters,
bury him alone.
and they buried him alone, right?
His parents, nobody could be there with him.
That's
They
really
just
weird.
Scoop them away. They can't see them ever again. We don't know what they do with them.
So who would have knows? Maybe if she wouldn't have taken him or something like that, maybe he would have been alive today.
No, the thing is that the night before they called the people and they said this guy's sick. He said, okay, call in the morning.
Okay.
He said this guy is sick. He has a problem. I said he's bad. And so the emergency whatever that they called said, okay, well, we'll just call back in the morning.
Okay.
And so they called in the morning and said,
God.
okay, our son is dead.
Oh. So that's
They could have come or something. Maybe he could have been alive, but he was actually really sick.
well. He had what do you call it? If you have
epilepsy.
medical conditions before you contract the disease, you're more susceptible to
Right.
dying from it. If you have a medical condition.
But they did wait till the morning, but then it was too late.
Oh God.
So anyway, do not wait till it's like till the last minute. Of course,
try to find
if you
someone.
have symptoms that are really bad, because you can have COVID, but you don't have symptoms.
Yeah. Okay.
You could have it, but you just don't feel it.
Okay.
But it just shows on the thing. When I went to I went to the drugstore to buy some multivitamins yesterday,
Okay.
right? And they took my temperature, and I said, how is it? How is my temperature? They said, it's fine. It's 36.9. I said, well, what is the one that's really bad? They said 37.6. I said, what? I almost have it.
We went to the store.
That's
You
ridiculous.
go to this store here. We went to this grocery store. This huge grocery store here that is very popular, very inexpensive, and super good products. Well, it's actually it's the IGA equivalent. It is IGA, but they call it a different name here.
Right.
Okay, so the guys that used to have to stand at the door, they used to stand there and go boop. They check each person, and some people would go boop, and some people they don't even look at the thing, just go boop,
Look at it.
and they just walk in. They boop. So you like.
And I'm always asking them, am I okay? Am I okay? Yeah, you're fine. Everybody's fine.
It's only the mercy of God that we're living, that we're alive. Old
I
timers
don't know
like
if those machines really work.
Yeah, I don't know if any of
They
it
don't
works.
even look at the machine.
Does any of it work? Does it really? Everybody's lying so much. The people that are talking about these things, you don't know if they're lying half the time or what.
But it made me make some beautiful face masks. So look, I made some really nice face masks with beautiful designs, double. Because now a lot of people are thinking about it. Some people don't care, but like these are the different designs that I have. Some of them are like this. Some of them are like this. With beautiful work. Some of them are like this.
Okay.
And then I also have beautiful. We also have beautiful colors. See, look at these. Aren't they beautiful? Some of them are like these. They're super nice. So we have all different, and now we have a different design altogether that looks like this. And these ones are really amazing. Some of them.
Okay, you saw it, folks.
It's like this one. Weird like this, and this one goes behind your ear. So this is one of the designs that we have. That's very nice. But no matter how you make it, no matter how sophisticated you make it, it's still difficult to breathe.
Yeah, it was.
Imagine some people have to wear this thing the whole day. But anyway, if you would like to have one of these, there's some of them designs are like this. Some of them are the
Where
ones
can you get it?
like these. And I also have some that you just tie in the back. So some people don't like the thing behind their ear. So I have some where you can just put it to the back like that. Oh yeah, I didn't have it with me. But anyway, they're different designs. They're with elastic, with the string, different ones. So you could just choose whichever one. They're double, they're single, they're, you know. It's mandatory. You need to even wear them on the street outside. On
Crazy.
the street, I was like,
For here, it's very different. You know, like to have
because it's really hot.
because it's super. Oh
It's
God.
super hot. The sun is really, wow, it's super hot. And then you still have to wear it on the street, in every store, everywhere, wherever you go, every place, wherever you publicly. So only time you can take it off is when you eat. They're even telling
Wow.
people now to do that in
How
the
can you
house.
eat with a mask on your face?
Yeah, you don't. And now they're even encouraging people to wear them in house.
Where, here? In Aruba?
Everywhere.
No,
Yeah,
not
you
in
have to wear it
Aruba.
well, if you live in an old folks home,
In Aruba.
yeah. But if you live in an old folks home and you have to come together for the dinner or something, you cannot be all together like that in one of the places. So you have to have it in your home where you live with all these different people.
That's
so
amazing.
It's amazing, so it's important that we pray that it's going to be over with soon. But everything that actually happens or everything in life comes to pass.
Yeah,
It's going to pass away, and we're going to be able to look back and say, oh, okay, that's what happened. It used to be like that. We're going to tell our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandkids. We're going to tell them, well, you know what? There was a time when there was a pandemic, and we had to do this, and that. And then, before you know it, it's over. Everything will be open. But it's just this time right now that we're living in is just...
It's pretty tough.
It's ridiculous, I mean, you
But
think
you know
that,
what?
but it's going to pass. So don't think about the present only. Just think about the future and how wonderful it's going to be when everything is back to normal.
Well, one of the things, the other thing that's happening around the world right now, I mean, it's a COVID. It's just going to be COVID. You're just going to have to trust God. It's just like a lady, just kind of give you a little cap on that. It's like the lady was on the ship and they were in a terrible storm. It was a big, huge ship. And she ran to the captain and she's like, Captain, what can we do? What can we do? And the ship was turning, tossed and turned in the water and everything was happening. And this lady runs to the captain, he's horrible, what am I going to do? And the captain turns her to her and he says, well, we're just going to have to trust the Lord. And she goes, oh my God, has it come to that? We're going to have to trust God, for all these things that are happening. But anyway, one of the main things this week just blew my mind this week, though. COVID. It was, I've had it with COVID. The Black Lives Matter guys, back at the blacks. The funny thing that hit me this week, I'll show you a little thing. The Black Lives Matter people are at it again.
Wow.
And we're just amazed. As you can see right here, we're just really amazed that they have actually demanded for all white people to get out of their homes and give them their homes.
What?
You didn't hear that?
No.
I was
Serious?
and one of their demands.
That's insane.
One of their demands
When was
is
that?
No, this week, last
This week?
Thursday.
But is it a specific state?
In Minneapolis, I think the epicenter of the whole thing, a lot of it, is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And one of the
Why
main...
would they give them their homes? But did they lose their home? Or they're just a bunch of homeless people?
I am totally amazed that they're actually walking through the streets right there. You can see the article right here on this page. It says, okay, it says, a group of Black Lives Matter protesters in Seattle marched through a residential neighborhood this week, demanding that white residents give up their homes. Dramatic video shows footage of the Wednesday demonstration posted to Twitter, shows a crowd of dozens chanting Black Lives Matter before an unidentified man projects his, tells what goes on to talk about that. But here it is. They're demanding that white people leave their homes. Now,
What?
and give their homes to black people.
And where would they go then?
The street.
They go there. So the tables will be turned. So basically, the white people will be on the street.
Some of the demands these people are making are just totally outrageous, outlandishly insane. I just can't. You know, you kind of. It's like a joke. It really is a joke. It's like you just sit there and you watch the things that they ask for, and you just, my mouth just, every time. Look, I'm a black guy. You know what I mean? I guess I have every right to try to be upset and all this stuff. I really don't. I mean, life is just the way it is. But these people are actually protesting. What does white people all giving up their homes have to do with George Floyd?
Yeah, I don't get it.
What does all this, the things they're demanding, has nothing to do with George Floyd?
Do they feel that it's the fault of all the white people?
No, you know what it is? It's just like I explained in one of my videos, it's just a Marxist, Antifa front. And they're basically trying to take over the country and bring it under the control of under their control, so that they can control the country, they can take it over, and they can do whatever they like. And you feel like, God, this is so insane. It's not even. I hope that you see right there, without a shadow of a doubt, that their protests and their riots, it's not even real legitimate protests. It's basically anarchy and riots and destruction, have nothing to do with racial equality. It has to do with insanity.
That's right.
Actual racial insanity, I would say. That they're insanely demanding all these things. And also, a lot of the people who are leading these riots,
right,
not peaceful protests, really wanting change, are basically coming from countries that their countries are all messed up through the same policies, the same beliefs that they have. I hope this thing is still running. So it's like you get there and you almost get mad. Okay, I let's say I should be upset and all this stuff like that. Okay, but I'm actually mad that they're actually tearing down the country. They're destroying the country.
Doesn't make sense.
And as a result, there isn't going to be any country worth having or worth living in with any kind of decency or any kind of regularity or any kind of real. They're going to be protesting, tearing down the country for social equality when there won't be any social anything. You know, you just
all
feel.
All they're going to have to do is rebuild the whole time. I mean, all the work.
But look at all these countries. Look at all the countries where a lot of these policies are implemented and started. They just fall apart and they're just total chaos. There's no defund the police. America without the police is like having a day without the sun. You know, it's like
exactly.
This is crazy. So anyway, that's one of the things that kind of blew my mind this week. And you know, as far as this racial equality thing, I don't understand it. My great grandmother, it's actually happened. We lived on a house in our town in South Carolina. Yeah. The epitome of racial inequality, bigotry, and racism. And this lady, okay, in 1890 is a picture right there. Yeah, I think you can see that house. That house right there was built on the main street of our city. Mm-hmm. A super bigoted racist city in South Carolina. Now, I don't understand how a woman, not only was she black, but she was also a black woman. And my uncles and a lot of people tell me that at some time she would walk around with thousands of dollars in her bosom. Now, I don't understand how she did it. No, I don't think she was a prostitute or a sex worker. All I heard was that she was good with cooking, and she was able to build an empire cooking in South Carolina. And this house is there to this day. You can go there and see it on Main Street, and it's there, a memorial to what a person can do if they work hard, especially a black woman. So I'm just amazed. I can't. When I hear all these people protesting and all the things they're saying and all these things that are going on, I just can't agree with it, because I've seen it right before my birth. I've lived. That was the first. My memories go back to that house as a child, born there, lived there. They were able to function, operate, establish a business. She established her own business right there in this town. And you wonder, how is that possible? And why all these people are freaking out? And so something's not right. You know what I mean? Like, you can see that it's just not jiving. Something's not jiving together. What the things they're saying, the things they're protesting for, doesn't seem to hold water. And I can honestly say, looking at my relatives, how they were and how they were successful in their realm, middle class black Americans, right? And a lot of surrounding relatives, cousins and other aunts that were living in, not as affluent, but they were able to survive. They were able to go to the store. Nobody ever got shot. In our town, occasionally some drunk would get put in jail. We had a black policeman. So I wonder, you wonder now, something's not right here. So these people were able to function, able to thrive as much as they wanted to, and live a fairly decent life without people rioting in the street or tearing the country apart. So really, to cap it off, guys, these people are just trying to destroy the country. And honestly, if you continue believing that lie and following that narrative, there won't be anything to fight for, because the country will be gone.
That's right.
And it'll be a crap hole country, just like a lot of people where they came from. Like what's his name said it. I don't care about Trump, guys, but I mean, he says a lot of truthful things. You just look at it. I personally don't think he's a racist, because having lived in New York, a big percentage of our lives in our family, and some of our families even met him, and seeing these things and seeing the guy over the years, all of a sudden he turned racist in 2016 when he won the election. Bam, he was fine. He's with all these black people. He helped so many black causes, and all of a sudden in 2016, boom. So anyway, I don't want to get into too political, because it's just a mess right now with that.
Imagine they say a lot of people are leaving America right now.
Really?
To go to greener pastures. I guess that's what everybody else did. That now everybody else came to the States. Now it's turning into really a bad place.
It's really horrible.
And now everybody's leaving only the immigrants there.
Leaving all
the last American better take the flag with them.
It's horrible. I mean, you just watch the news and you just see that. But not to leave on a good note, it's like, just to say that it's a lie. A lot of things they're striving for. Okay, there definitely needs to be better supervision of policemen, right, and how they interact with people of color.
Yes, of course.
But it's just human nature.
Did you see what they're doing in, was it Australia or New Zealand?
Oh, did you see that?
New Zealand?
That's in Australia. They
beat women.
They were this lady. She didn't have a mask on.
Yeah.
and they did a chokehold and everything on this lady. I mean, not she wasn't an old lady, but still,
But
you hear the lady screaming,
States.
screaming and stuff like that, and they just threw her down to the ground and jumped on her.
They should get some of those policemen to go. And then
they'll straighten it out.
Get the American policemen and let them go, and then they can see what they
I've
missed.
never seen someone chokehold a lady and throw her down to the ground.
Just really,
simply because she wasn't wearing a mask. Okay, I can understand people having their fears and anxieties about other people not having masks on, but give me a break. They just...
But you don't... The police is there to correct people, to bring order and things like that, not to terrorize or torture people, But the police there in Australia, they're just like really...
they're taking that
really
Darwinian, was it? Not Darwinian, but a terrible approach to the sickness and hurting people and stuff like that. It's just not nice. It's not good at all. So we'd like to encourage all of you to please pray for the world situation right now, and pray actually that these things can kind of progress a lot faster and things can move on a lot faster. It's just amazing. I don't know if I also saw this week that they were having talks in the Middle East and Israel between Israel and Kuwait, I believe, to accept the existence of Israel, which a lot of the Arab countries, and it's like Trump's working on a peace pact. I don't know this. It would be awesome if it was the actual peace pact that they talk about in the book of Daniel, that the Antichrist, I'm not saying Trump is the Antichrist, but that...
You mean that would begin the last 7 years?
According to Bible prophecy, if you study it, that one of the main signals, or one of the main signs of the last years of world history is when Israel makes a peace pact with the Arab nations that will bring peace to Israel. It's going to be a 7-year pact. And there's a lot of different ideas about that, but the main point is that according to the scripture, there is going to be a peace pact. And this peace pact, they don't say 7 years, but this peace pact is going to bring, this is right in the Bible.
It's in the Bible.
That there will be when we see this peace pact sign, that will be one of the main signals of the last few years. I'll say it says a 7-year. That how that 7 comes up, you'd have to read Daniel chapter 7, 8, and you have to read about these prophecies in Ezekiel about these years, and Jeremiah. It's a lot of prophecies that they gave explaining the situation of the world before Jesus. They didn't know Jesus, but before the Messiah will return. But that's so encouraging. Now, if that is something like that happens, that's another major sign that we are in the last days. So stay tuned. If you'd like to know more about that, you can log on to our website, our YouTube channel, the Monte Cagle YouTube channel. Check it out right there and see what you think. Some of the prophecies that we give, and the net and books. There's tons and tons and tons of things about the last 7 years of world history, and you can find that, and you can read the prophecies, the actual prophecies in Daniel chapter 9, Daniel chapter 11, and you can also read in 8 and 7 about the things. The Bible is so clear about world powers, exactly, even in some cases giving the name of the world leaders that would come when Daniel got those prophecies, and it's amazing. So we just want to encourage you all to keep looking up and don't be discouraged in all these situations. I mean, it's just so amazing. We're just sitting here, like Teresita brought out the other day. You don't even have to watch a movie. You can just look at the news every day. And you can it's just amazing what's going on. We like to bring these things to your attention. And we'd like to encourage you all, don't be discouraged. Like sometimes you just feel like freaking out, but you just have to trust God. He's going to work it all out, and He will work it out. And He's going to work out your situation with the virus, because this virus thing looks like it's not going to end. It takes us into the next stage. And it seems like they're just really putting the world into a situation right now that they want the world totally desperate. And that they're really willing to do almost anything to survive this horrible time that we're in right now. And that it looks like they're going to roll out their world leader, and really they've already initiated the one world government, but a world leader that we're actually going to see with our own eyes, that we'll witness him on the news in some fashion, shape, or form. And according to Bible prophecy, this guy's got to come before the last final days. So we're not saying, it's the end of the world tomorrow night at 6 o'clock and things like that. But there are many signs in the Bible that we are fast approaching the final days of man's rule on earth. And so we'd like to encourage you all to keep going in life and don't get discouraged. We want to encourage you to keep looking up. And I mean, and when we get these together, you can always, don't forget, you can feel free to comment, or if you have any questions, just write it in there. Just tell us right there. And we just want to encourage you all not to be discouraged, to keep going in life. I mean, I'm sorry, folks. It seems like we're laughing or joking about things. I'll be honest with you. We are just encouraged that these end time events are happening, because that signals the end. That signals the end of all this suffering, the end of all this confusion, the end of all this mental anguish, and we'll finally have peace, real peace, under God and God's reign and under His rule, but we won't have to suffer all these things. So we want to encourage you all to keep going, and we want to encourage you all, if you don't know how to cope with these things, cry out to God. If you feel discouraged, like sometimes you want to kill yourself, you know what I mean? You just I'm saying to people, it's not funny, but it's like people are actually killing themselves out there, and it's not worth it. I can tell you, it's not worth it. God has a plan for you. He has a plan for you. If you decide to do that, well, that's your decision, and God's not even going to intervene on that, because He's given us free choice. We can choose to do what we like. He's not a dictator. And when He does love you, and He does want you to be happy. So you have to be happy with your decision.
Exactly.
So we'd like to encourage you all to keep looking up, and don't be discouraged, and receive Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, so that you can have that peace and begin a road to true understanding of what you're here for, why we're here, where we're going, and what's going to happen. So receive the Lord Jesus Christ. There's a simple prayer that you could pray if you like. You could say something like, Jesus, I would like to know you. I'd like to have that inner peace. I feel so discouraged and so depressed about things that I've done wrong, and the people that I may have hurt in my life, and I'm just so tired of carrying these things around. I'd like to be set free mentally, physically, spiritually. I'd like to receive you. I want you into my life. I want you to come into my life. Please, if I've done anything wrong, forgive me for my sins, and give me your gift of peace, joy, and eternal life. In Jesus' name. Something as simple as that. You can pray, and God will hear you, and He will reward you with His wonderful gift of eternal life. So we'd like to remind you, keep looking up. Don't be discouraged, and hang in there. God's got a wonderful future for you personally. So we'd like to wish you a super duper Sunday, and we hope to see you again. And hang out with us during the week. We have common sense sessions, and we do a little music, and Teresita's got her chat and her devotional readings in Papiamento, not readings, but talks in Papiamento, and exercise and food and a whole lot more. at the Monte Cagle YouTube channel, the Cagle channel. So have a nice one. And remember, keep looking up and not down. See you soon, and thanks for stopping by.